So the thermostatic rad valve, one of these things on this radiator in one of the kids' rooms here, is not working. It stays on no matter what you do. So you can take the cap off, you can press the pin down, it still doesn't stop it. So the plan today now is to change it. So this is the one that's going on it, and I'm going to change it for this. Here we go. So if this is your first time here and you'd like to see how to do some DIY projects, plumbing projects, waste oil burner projects, stove projects, and a ton of other DIY stuff, you could start now by subscribing and click on the bell notification. Here we go. So my system is pressurized with about 0.5, 0.6 of a bar. That's not an awful lot of pressure, about 7 psi, but it's enough to make everything really wet. So what I've done is I've switched off the water and I'm going to drain the excess pressure off the system with an aqua vac, a shop vac. I'm going to get, once I get the pressure off the system, you know, if you turn something upside down, it glugs out. When I get the pressure off the system, that's how this radiator will want to empty. It'll want to glug, 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 glug all the way out. And that gives me a few seconds then. I get the pressure off it, get my valve ready, take the old one off really quickly, slap the new one on, get it all together, and within a few seconds I can have it, you know, the new one on. Now, when it works good. It's quick, you know, very little cleanup. When it doesn't work, you don't know about it. There's water everywhere, you know. So here we go. I'm going to change it now. I've got a couple of rags. You know, I'm going to squash around the pipe. This is just in case I miss any of the water coming down. It'll give me a chance. So here. Okay, so that's the. Now, unfortunately, this radiator is in a corner. But that's the pipe kind of surrounded with rags. These happen to be just cut up old t-shirts for the shed, you know. Anyway, that's that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to crack one of these nuts, this one here, and there's obviously going to be water out of it. At the other end of the radiator, the far end of the radiator has what's called a return valve on it. That's closed all the way. So the only valve, there's no more water coming into the rad from this end, but there is water coming in from the TRV, the thermostatic rad valve end, because it doesn't shut. So yeah, I have a couple of things to contend with, but I'll show you the setup now. So it's going to get a little noisy. I'm going to switch on the vacuum cleaner. I don't know if it can be heard over it. Okay, so we've got some suction on this. Hopefully you can hear me. So we're going to crack this nut. Let's get rid of this. So I'm taking this off. Just get the new one ready. So I don't need the nuts and rings on it. These are compression fittings, and I don't need them. So that's the bare bones TRV, thermostatic rad valve. So what we're going to do is going to crack this one. Now there's going to be water here. I'm going to catch it in a second. There we go. Now you can see I'm sucking that into the Hoover, into the vacuum cleaner. When that pressure slows down a good bit, then I can attack it, I can change out the valve, because at the moment we're releasing the pressure in the heating system and also draining that radiator. I'm just going to expedite things a little. But be really careful doing this, because if it goes wrong, you can have water everywhere and the threads mightn't line up for you again if you're under pressure. I haven't done the bottom pipe yet. So the only place the water can come out is at this joint, which is what I want. Now there's no water going down the pipe, it's all going into the vacuum cleaner. There we go. That's why I've got the rag underneath. Now I pulled it out a bit too far that time. But it's under control. So I'm catching more water here now. Okay, so now the pressure has kind of stopped on it. So what I'm going to do, pop it back there and open this one now. This whole thing is going to move fairly quick. Just have to change positions now. So now we're not connected at all. Still got a bit of water out of there. This is the new one. Now watch how quick this happens. I'm just going to wait till I get more pressure off the system. Okay, so you can see the water going into the vacuum cleaner now. Here we go. One off, one on. We're going to tighten things up now. And that's it. Just make sure everything's tight. Okay, so let's get a look now. Let's switch off this vacuum cleaner. Okay, so now, except for what splashed out of the vacuum cleaner hose, absolutely nothing got to the floor. Now, where we're in danger here is water running down the pipe. You know, you can see the top joint, you know, the horizontal joint, and that's okay. You can see what comes out of that. But if there's water running down the pipe, you may not see it. And here it's into a 9-inch ceiling space with insulation and stuff in it, and then it would be down through the ceiling. Now, you'd want to get it completely wrong. So, you know, the changeover took just a few seconds, you know, 10 or 15, 20 seconds, whatever. And but once it's on and you're correctly threaded, that's it. So I'm just going to wipe this with my hand now, and there's no water on it. Just make sure again. Yeah, nice and dry. So that's it, TRV changed. Now, I don't know. Until I pull this is the wet one now, this is the old one. Until I pull that apart, I don't know what's gone wrong with it. But messing around with it in position, I'm not saying it's not a runner, it's just not worth doing, you know, when I can change it out that quickly. So, you know, if you had a few radiators to do, you know, if there was a bigger job on the system, you know, I would drain this whole level. But because I've got underfloor heating upstairs at this level, it can airlock. And I don't want that. So there you go, changed it live, and it worked out really well. So this took way longer for me to set up than it did for me to do. I dragged the toolbox up here, a couple of lights for the cameras, even the cameras, so you could see it. I would have just done this in a couple of minutes. So that's it, that's the TRV, the thermostatic rad valve fitted. When this room gets up to temperature, it shuts off the radiator automatically. They're very good. This radiator, as it happens, vents automatically as well. So any air that's in this radiator is purged on its own. It's got a mechanism at the top called an Aladdin automatic air vent. Link up there. And I've done a video on that before, so you'll see it up there. So look, I'm going to leave it there for now. If you're already a subscriber here, thanks very much. It's great having you around, really is. If you're new to the channel, maybe consider subscribing down there. That'd be fantastic. And look, I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks. Bye for now. Good luck.